To all the men out there, before you get married or before you choose to have sex without a condom, you really want to do a background check. Because the lady that you're with, she could change your kid's gender if she wants. She can move to another state, but if you live in New York, she can do it in New York. Almost unbelievable. It's actually kind of scary. So, like a no-win topic, parents you would think would do the best thing for their child. So, how do you argue giving a 5-year-old hormone blockers? How do you argue against the parent doing that, right? But then again, why would a parent do that? Oh, it ain't making sense out here. Life is hard enough. Now we want to second guess Mother Nature for a child. Scaly. It's crazy out here. You gotta watch this. It's insane. These kids. Does anybody care about these kids? Yo, 18? Do whatever. Literally. I mean, there's going to be consequences. You change your gender if you'd like at 18. But can we leave these kids alone? And can we check these parents? Like, is there a way to check parents' brains before they have children? Because these don't make sense. Watch. It's a bad one. It's nuts. Unbelievable.
To be altered, necessarily taken away, is because one parent displayed something that was not in the best interest of the child.
With help from a lawyer, Hannon prevented his son from getting puberty blockers.
Tonight, a New York father says he lost custody over a disagreement with his son's gender transition. It's a complicated case with both parents pointing fingers. The National Desk, Janae Bowens, cuts through all the noise and takes a look at how gender dysphoria is handled in child custody battles.
Dennis Hannon of New York says a court stripped him of custody after he objected to his son's gender transition.
I was framed as a bigot. I was framed as I was intolerant.
Hannon says this goes back to his divorce, where accusations of abuse led to his ex-wife getting sole custody of their son. When their child was 5, Hannon learned that while with his mom, the child had a new name, was seeing a gender therapist, and was being recommended as a candidate for puberty blocking drugs. This despite never being diagnosed with gender dysphoria.
And not once was I ever invited to be a part of his treatment.
It's something that comes up, but it comes to a medical decision, which falls under legal custody. And typically that's something that both parents want to weigh in on because the consequences are so significant.
Family attorney Elizabeth Douglas of New York says Hannon's lack of knowledge of the alleged transition is a huge deviation from the rights of a legal custodian. However, she says the custody status at the time may have played a role. There are similar cases across the country. According to the New York Post, a Texas father claims his ex-wife moved to California to, quote, chemically castrate their 9-year-old son. But Douglas says a parent not wanting their child to transition will not cause someone to lose custody.
Typically, the reason why rights could be altered, not necessarily taken away, is because one parent displayed something that was not in the best interest of the child.
With help from a lawyer, Hannon prevented his son from getting puberty blockers. A court later ruled against him, demanding he pay for the child's $145 per session gender therapy. Hannon's case worked its way to the New York Supreme Court, where he lost medical authority in custody of his son, only being allowed to see him occasionally during the week and on alternating weekends. In this complicated case, the court's reason for ruling this way is not publicly available.
I may have lost in court, but I won where it matters the most because I saved my little boy.
The mom in this case is Amy Hannon. Now, she told the New York Post she didn't want to get into the specifics about the case, but said, quote, there are two sides to every story. She went on to say, it's the child that's important here. In Washington, Janae Bowens for the National Desk.
It's crazy.
Ohio's governor rejecting a bill
All
to
right,
ban trans.
So from what does that say? Ohio governor vetoes ban on gender treatments for minors. Ohio governor vetoes ban on gender treatments for minors. All right, look. R- Yep. Software engineer from Buffalo is locked in nightmare legal with it. He can't. He can't afford to appeal regain full consequences. This is. Let's check his Twitter. We gotta follow. We gotta follow him. What did Tucker Carlson say?
What would that do to a boy if you were to do something that evil to them at that age?
I did not know it started there. Oh,
The school obviously knew perfectly well that your ex-wife had decided that your son was now her daughter. Nobody thought twice about this? I was the last to know in a unilateral gender conversion of my child. We're talking at about 5 years old. What would that do to a boy if you were to do something that evil to him at that age? Over 2 phone calls totaling 45 minutes, Dr. Tran came to the conclusion that my son was a candidate for puberty blockers. That's why I'm coming forward here now, so that I can hopefully inspire other parents to come forward and talk about this, because I know that I'm not alone. I assume every person who admitted the sex crime against your son was a liberal white woman, I was guessing. Is that correct? Absolutely. Since I have exposed these people, she changed her name. It's like the Bon Jovi song, the way the names have changed, because she's still doing the same thing. Like insects, when you turn the lights on, they scurried under the cabinets. Oh, yes, they do. At some point, people are going to be held accountable for this.
this is not a drill. Men don't, when it comes to children and people getting a divorce, quote, the laws sides with the women a lot. And I guess I can understand that. Yeah. But no. I don't know what's Skelly. You know what? I hope Trump wins too. You know? You're a man, Skelly. Tradition. Gotta vote. Oh, yes, we do.